Jay Gabler, Duluth News Tribune's arts and entertainment reporter, here with another special episode of the DNT Minute featuring my column, Front Row Seat. This week, I write about an opera being presented at UMD by Lyric Opera of the North. It's being presented this weekend, and I got to visit a very special rehearsal last Sunday. Sarah Lawrence was seriously excited. As an artistic director of Lyric Opera of the North, Lawrence was a connector among all the people the Duluth-based organization has convened to perform Cavalleria Rusticana, an opera by Pietro Mascagni, first performed in 1890. If things hadn't been going well during a musical run-through Sunday, it could have been her problem. As it happened, things were going very well. "I'm making a list of all the things you're not seeing," she said with a grin as we sat in the front row at the University of Minnesota Duluth's Marshall Performing Arts Center. Still to come were the props, the costumes, the ballet, the harp, the fully staged acting, and part of the chorus. The latter was offstage by design. "There they are," said Lawrence as a group of singers walked out from behind a piece of scenery depicting a Sicilian church. "The mighty backstage chorus." During the opera, voices will be heard from both offstage and onstage, principals and chorus members using ramps to step around the orchestra pit and approach the audience. "They're really helping tell the story," said Lawrence about the chorus, crediting stage director Marnie Robb. "They're not just one amoeba that goes on stage and exits, which is very common in operas." Sunday's run-through was the stage and rehearsal known as a sitzprobe. It's when the singers and orchestra first meet each other and perform together, focusing on the music before other production elements are added. Conductor Maria Sensei-Sellner led the rehearsal from her podium, fine-tuning the performance with comments like, "The downbeat is not inevitable." The warm vibes suffusing the room were consistent with the opera's springtime setting, though the events of the one-act show are anything but uplifting. Santuzza, sung by Lacey Souter, is miffed, to put it mildly, with Turidu, played by Dane Suarez. He slept with Santuzza, then spurned her in favor of the lovely Lola, performed by Georgia Jacobson. That's a development that also irks Lola's husband, Alfio, sung by Corey Renbarger. "He doesn't get a whole lot of lovey time," said Renbarger about his character. "He's just kind of made into a jerk. It's circumstances, obviously, but he's not very nice." Jacobson said she's having fun with her troublemaker character. "It's really fun to play someone close to my age," said the young mezzo-soprano, whose vocal range often requires her to be cast as boys or older women. The slightly higher soprano range is most typically given to female leads, as is the case here, and that comes with its own pitfalls. "I die a lot, typically, in operas," said Souter. "I don't die in this one, but she goes through the ringer. There's a lot of emotion, and the music really supports that. It's so much fun to sing." Regarding his character, who cranks that ringer, Suarez acknowledged he's not the nicest guy. But honestly, the best thing about him is that he gets all the best music, in my opinion. Loon, Lyric Opera of the North, previously produced Cavalleria Rusticana in 2011 with a sumptuous production including an Easter procession the News Tribune called positively Zeffirelli-like. Lawrence said they were inspired to revisit the opera when they dusted off the set for a requested loan. "We looked at it," said Lawrence, "and realized it was so beautiful. And what we love most about this opera is that it is a chorus showcase." "I've sung at many different levels of companies," said Suarez, "and this is by far one of the best choruses I've ever sung with." Georgia Jacobson's name is familiar to Loon longtimers. Her late mother, Ruth Jacobson, founded the company in 2004. "I was 7, said Georgia. "I sat in on board meetings, rehearsals, all of that. Eventually, she started singing in the chorus." "It was really instrumental for me deciding to become a singer," Georgia Jacobson continued. "I never thought that would be my path, but because I was sort of raised by this company, it became a reality for me, and I just fell into it. So I went to school for vocal performance, and now I'm gigging full-time as an opera singer." When her mom died, Georgia was 12, and she's the reason we're doing these jobs because she's the one who said, "It has to be you," said Lawrence, referring to herself and her husband, Callan Metz, Loon's other artistic director. "Cal and I were, at that time, singing. That's what we did." It was 2010. Jacobson now lives in Los Angeles. Souter, also born in Duluth, moved back to the motherland, as her official biography puts it, in 2021 when she had the opportunity to buy her grandfather's home. Soder knew something of the Duluth arts landscape, but the professional singer was not at all expecting to have as many opportunities to perform locally. The quality of the talent here is awesome, just the same as you would find in a big city, said Soder, who's become a Duluth Playhouse regular. Then I get to go home and be in Duluth and be with my cats. Holly Johns, who sings the role of Turudu's mother, Lucia, is performing with Loon for a second time. I come to Duluth frequently simply to see the shows, said Jans. I live in Fargo, so it's a little bit of a drive, but I so love this community and this whole place. Rob, the stage director, had even more of a journey. She was just in New York, where she was part of the final cast of Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. I'm so grateful that you thought of me and invited me to do this, Rob said to Lawrence as the two sat together before rehearsal. Because I think I would have room to feel sad and think about the ending of a chapter, but this really cushions that for me and really gives me a future-facing focus. Whereas Phantom famously ran for decades, Cavalleria Rusticana will be on stage for just one weekend. In a 35-year run, we had to worry about keeping things fresh from night to night, and also repetition, said Rob. What does repetition do to your body, do to your voice? Those kinds of things we don't have to worry about here. While opera as a genre is centuries older than the kind of musical theater practiced on Broadway today, there are still a lot of people who've never seen an opera. Soder encouraged newcomers to give the art form a chance. It is the best of everything, she said. There's an orchestra, there's a chorus. We have amazing singers, and there's even ballet in this one. The quality of the music that's happening, it absolutely blows me away every single time with Loon. We could be anywhere in the world, this chorus, said Jacobson. As it happens, they're in Duluth. I stay in my bedroom where I was raised, said Jacobson about homecoming shows. It's really an amazing and emotional dream come true. And that's this week's column. Next week, I'll be back with an account of my first time learning how to sail. That's right, I'm going out on Lake Superior, and I'll let you know how that goes. Until then, I'm Jay Gabler, Duluth News Tribune.